Right guys, good morning, welcome back to the channel. Hope you're all keeping safe and well. It's another sunny day today. Right, so this morning I have, there it is, been looking for this. This morning I've got some chisel ploughing to do with the John Deere. I know, more chisel ploughing. I've got about 20 acres left to do, so that'll be the primary cultivations all done once I've done those 20 acres. So yeah, another video this morning of me going up and down the field. Right, just got to make a slight adjustment. The chisel plough isn't quite level, so just got to shorten the top link to bring it forward a little bit. Right, there we go. Right, that looks much better now. It's doing a good job. So the points on the chisel plough, they're almost at the point where they need changing. But I've only got 20 acres to do, so I think they'll be alright just to get it done. Well, I've got some nice straight lines. I wasn't even steering. I'm cheating again with the AutoTrac, the GPS. Oh, there's a fair bit of compaction on the headlands. So to adjust the draft control a little bit. We can feel it pulling like that. Just like that. That's the compaction, and you've got to sort of get your draft control settings spot on. I should be going like this all down the field. It's very compacted, this set-aside ground. All of what we're cultivating this year is set-aside ground. Any land that we are going to be drilling that's from this year's harvest, that'll be direct drilled with the Claydon. But the set-aside ground, it's got this sort of natural compaction that's built up. So we've opted to cultivate, and we're using the chisel plough and then the subsoiler as our sort of primary cultivation method. The chisel plough will sort of bring up the first sort of few inches, and then the subsoiler will go in deeper than that to release the compaction that's even further down, and the packer on the subsoiler will consolidate to an extent on top, but we're still going to be wanting to go over it with something to work it down, either the power harrow or even the old dyno drive that you've seen in a previous video. There's Dad in the Gator, come to have a little look. So a lot of you guys have been asking for me to do a bit of a video on how the GPS, how the AutoTrac guidance works on the John Deere, and how we set up the tractor to follow a line and sort of drive itself. So I will do that. What I'll do is when I get done chisel ploughing this field here, I'll be going back to the yard, hooking up onto the subsoiler, and when I come back in field then I'll go through how it all works so you guys can see. I think I did a video on it a while ago, but it was a while ago, and yeah, we'll do a more updated version of how the GPS works today. So it's this field I'm in here and that one just over there. They're both about 10 acres, so this field, we call it Cox's Close. We sort of refer to it as one field, but there is a ditch that runs between the two fields. But yeah, 10 acres and 10 acres, so 20 acres. Shouldn't take long in the Deere. It pulls the chisel plough really well, so as long as we don't have any issues with shear bolts breaking, which for those of you who saw my video last week, I had a fair few go that day, but yeah, it seems to be a bit smoother here. Like I said, fair bit of compaction on the headlands, but yeah, the Deere should pull through this no problem. Someone left me a comment the other day asking, don't I ever get bored just going up and down in a tractor? It seems very boring, this person said. Well, no, absolutely love it. What's not to love? You're outside, well, you're out in the countryside, so you've got nice views, and if you've got a nice air-conditioned cab and it's a nice comfortable job, no, going up and down all day, no problem. Absolutely love it. Plus chisel ploughing, turning fields brown, so satisfying. Definitely My favourite job, definitely not boring. Red kite, see? Do some bird watching as well. There's Mr. Kite, I don't know if you can see him, but yeah, how can you get bored? Nice, blue skies, sunny day, in the John Deere, working the fields. Doesn't get better than this, unless of course we have a breakdown, but I'm not going to say anything, don't want to jinx it. Just had my lunch brought to me. Look at this, no drama llama. And there's a llama with sunglasses on it. Look at that, Dennis and Menace lunchbox and a big old drink. Perfect, thanks Hayley. Right, the old switcheroo is complete. It is hot today. Just realised the reason I can only get it to lift that high is because I had an upper limit set at 80% for the link arms, because the chisel plough, when it's on the back of the John Deere, the points do get a bit close to the tyre, so to avoid it, you know, hitting the tyre, I set an upper limit, but I don't need that now, so I can go up to 100% on here, and that'll bring that right up to its maximum, and there we go. Hello Ford, with a slightly low tyre. In fact, both the rear tyres on the old Ford are a bit low. There's a slow puncture in one of them, unfortunately. And I had the rolls on the other day. I was rolling that bit of ground that I took the dyno drive over on that stubble where we're going to plant some beans, and that is the best tractor to be in. I think if we ever got GPS in the old Ford, that would be an absolute game changer. Right, so this is how the magic happens. We've got a Starfire 6000 receiver on top of the tractor, connected to the Generation 4 display in the cab, and I guard this thing with my life. It's got its own special place under lock and key, because these are very, very pinchable. There's no way I ever leave that on the tractor. Like I said, it's got its own special place and it gets locked away every single day. Right, so what I want to be doing then is I want to be going up and down this way, subsoiling towards the ditch. That is the same way that I chisel ploughed it. Normally I'd like to cross my work, but the reason I went that way with the chisel plough is because of the compaction in the field. It was much easier to go that way, the same way as the tram lines, not to cross it. I really would have been struggling to cross it with the chisel plough. So yeah, what we want to be doing is going this way with the subsoiler, and we're going to do that without steering, and I'll show you guys how it works. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to the guidance page on the screen. We are going to set up a new track. So we click set track, new track. Now we're going to use the A to B method, so we'll click that. Track name. Well, this field is called Cox's Close, so let's just say CC Subsoiler. Okay. Right, set A to begin. What we're going to do is we're going to drive from here to the other end of the field after I've clicked set A, and when I get to the other end, I'm going to click set B. set A. So what I'm going to do now is keep as straight a line as possible to the other end of the field. So what we're doing is we're basically recording a straight line from point A at the beginning to point B. What it's going to do then is map out lines across the field set at, I know I didn't show you guys that, set at 3.5 meters. This is a 4 meter bit of kit, but long story, the packer on the back does end up leaving a bit of a ridge if you try and do it sort of too tight. So I've got it set for 3.5 meters. When we get to the end and I click set B, I'll show you on the screen all the lines that appear. Right, we're near the end of the field now, so I'm going to click set B and done. It's now telling me AutoTrac enabled, press the resume switch to activate. So if I show you guys on the computer now, you can see this white line here, that is the line I just did, and all these blue ones next to it are the next tracks, which are set 3.5 meters away from each other. So when I turn onto a new run, I press this when my wheel is almost on the mark, and the steering, the AutoTrac steering, takes over. Now, if I want to cancel the steering, i.e. at the other end of the field when I'm lifting up, all I've got to do is turn the steering wheel. As soon as the steering wheel is touched, there'll be a beep and the auto steering turns off. So yeah, let's give it a go. So I get near to my mark, then I press the button, it's beeped. So now it's following that mark. Just let the subsoiler down, that's it. And now, as you can see, we've got the auto sign there. I don't know if you can see, it's a bit dark, but because I pressed that now, the steering is taken over and it is following the line that I originally set 3.5 meters away. So we should be going nice and straight. Now, there is a way to set it so it will turn on the headland for you, but we just use the A to B method. So when we get to the other end and we lift out of the ground and turn the steering wheel, that cancels out the AutoTrac, turn around, and as soon as I get in line with my next track, I press the magic button and off we go again. It is really simple, the Starfire system, we get on really well with it. We do have Trimble GPS in the Fastrac for spraying, and if I'm being honest, I don't rate Trimble as much as I rate the John Deere Starfire. It's a really, really good system, and we get on well with it. Normally, I would wait a day or so before I go with the subsoiler over what I've chisel plowed, but thunderstorms tomorrow, apparently. To be honest, it's no bad thing. It is bone dry out there. We need a bit of rain now to encourage some black grass to come through so we can get it all sprayed off before we drill. So yeah, dare I say it, we do need a bit of rain now. The packer on the back does do a fair job, but it isn't sort of a 100% job. Obviously, we need to work down the ground a little bit more. The way I see it, the chisel plough and the subsoiler together, that's our primary cultivation done. It will then need working down a bit more as we go along. Now, Ray's out with the Dynadrive today, going over a bit of ground that we've cultivated. The Dynadrive, like me and Dad have said before, it's a bit like a halfway house as far as the power harrow goes. It sort of leaves it half as well as a power harrow would, which is absolutely fine because we don't want to leave it too fine at this stage, because with the rain coming, we're just going to end up with a load of mush in the field. I mean, if it comes as much rain as they say it's going to, you're not going to want to have it, you know, worked down really fine. So yeah, the Dynadrive is leaving it just about right, I think. I know we could be saving time and doing everything with one, you know, one pass bit of kit like a sumo, and I would love to get a sumo. Those things are awesome. The problem is, I don't think we can really justify it. The only bit of cultivating we're doing is on the ground that we've left set aside, and moving forward we're not going to be doing much more in the way of set aside. For the last couple of years we have left a couple of 100 acres each year set aside instead of growing rate. There was a few reasons why we made that decision. I have explained that in more detail before, but basically I guess what I'm trying to say is investing in cultivation equipment for us at the moment isn't right, because we want to be getting back to 100% direct drilling, or at least min till. So yeah, for us right now it isn't really the right thing to be thinking about, but we get on well with our chisel plough subsoiler system. I mean, last year we didn't have to work down much at all after the subsoiler. We got on quite early and it did weather down all right, but this year, just because of how dry it is, we've got the Dynadrive on the go, and if it does rain tomorrow, I think we'll get the power harrow back from farm 2. That's been at farm 2 for a couple of months. I used it for a little job over there earlier in the year, so that needs to come back, and then it's here if we do need to work anything down a bit finer. We're basically just making use of what we've got as far as cultivation equipment goes. Every farm needs a decent subsoiler, whether it's just for tram lines or whether you're doing whole field operations like we are. And then of course we've got the old chisel plough. In fact, we've got five chisel ploughs, and the old dyno drive and a couple of power harrows. So we are making use of what we've got. We've got no sort of springtime cultivators, and we haven't got a time drill either, so we can sort of, like I said, make use with what we've got. But yeah, the Claydon drill itself, if conditions are right, can act well as a conventional drill. So the Claydon is our sort of mainstay drill, you know, whether we cultivate or go direct into the stubble. And since doing videos lately of our cultivation with the chisel plough and the subsoiler, etc., the biggest question I get asked is, why don't we just plough it? I think what I've just said sort of answers that and the fact that we do have a plough, the old Dowdeswell plough we bought, but we can get through it even with doing 2 passes. We can get through the land so much quicker with the chisel plough system that we're using at the moment. So that is sort of answering that question, I hope. I mean, every farm's different and everybody's different, and you know, it works for us. You know, we wouldn't do it if it didn't work for us. The thing is with farming, there's no right or wrong way to do things. Everyone's got different ideas, they've got different results that they want to achieve. So for us, it works. As far as I'm concerned, I am super keen to do less on the set aside and, you know, do full 100% cropping every year on the farm, and I'm keen as mustard to get back to 100% direct drilling. We've got a brilliant drill, and we've got a good set of harrows, we've got a good set of rolls, we've got some good tractors, we've got the John Deere, we've got the TM. I think between me, Dad, and now Ray, we can do it. We can do the whole lot direct drilled. So let's hope we can get back to that at some point. There's lots of ifs and buts and whatnot when it comes to direct drilling, as we all know. But in a nutshell, that's what I want to do. I want to be cropping the lot, I want to get back to growing rape, and I want to be direct drilling. But yeah, I'm just rambling on now. I'm going to stop talking and concentrate a bit more on what I'm doing. It is doing a really good job, to be fair. Yeah, this will be me for the rest of the afternoon, getting this done. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you've enjoyed today's video. And as always, if you have, please be sure to give it one of these. It really does help the channel. And if you want to see more from me, hit that subscribe button, tap the bell to get notified when I upload a new video. Stay good easy, guys, and we'll see you next time.